Man, welcome back to another episode of the Think Successfully Room. This is a platform where we focus on building mindsets. We building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your intelligence. I am your host, keep you so effing amazing. This is Tiffany Ingram, and together we talk about the evolution of technology, which we all know is artificial intelligence.
Man, listen, if I had
Man,
the little sound machine, look, you was on it today. I'll be like,
yeah, yeah. My mind was gone. I forgot. Listen, I think the last two, not the last episode we did, maybe the one before that. I don't know where my mind. I fumbled it. I fumbled the intro for the first time, and it'll
that was
never
last
happen
week, I
again.
think.
Was it?
I think it was
Yeah,
last week.
that'll never happen again. I felt terrible after that. But yeah. So Tiff, I wanted to discuss this the 2026 Consumer Electronics Show out in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And yeah, clip you had sent me looked like an amazing experience, and
hmm
they were rolling out a bunch of new technology, and one in particular that stuck out to me was the Qira. Um, so just to give them an idea of what Qira is, so this is a personal ambient intelligence, right? So what it is that they define it as a system level intelligence that is capable of, I guess, holding this continuity between multiple devices. Now, this isn't, I'm not going to say, Lenovo and Motorola was the first to create something like an AI agent, but arguably we haven't seen two different systems bridge together to make it happen. When we think of an Apple or maybe even a Samsung, whatever Apple technology there is, you can only utilize it on a different Apple device. Same with a Samsung, and so on and so forth. So, with the Kira and having the ability to be able to take advantage of its assistance across multiple devices, like what was your feeling towards this new technology?
So when I initially read the follow up information that you sent over, and I do
Mhm.
want to, well, I'm gonna go with my first thought, then I'll tell people how I gathered more information. So when I read through the article that you sent over, I was immediately thinking about infrastructure, the word infrastructure, because a lot of companies are talking about. So you hear a lot about Google and what they're doing, and Microsoft and how they're integrating these products into their software, right? So if you have
Mhm.
um, Microsoft 365, Copilot is built into Word, right? So you don't
Mhm.
have to go anywhere to use Copilot. And I was just like, now the consumer is going to have the ability to do these things with, again, a Lenovo computer and a Motorola phone, right? So it's the same concept. It's just like, okay, now it's not specifically just for business to business interaction. It's going to be, hey, I can have this in the palm of my hand. And now what do I do with it? Right? How do I navigate as a consumer, as how do I use this in my personal life? And so I was like, oh, it's coming. Like infrastructure, when people start when the conversation is around infrastructure, we just think, oh, that's just something businesses have to worry about. It's like, no, it's coming. It's gonna be in your face. And so you need to understand how to navigate with it and how to opt
Absolutely.
out of it if that's not what you want.
Yeah. And I think when we talk about infrastructure, if you are somebody that's trying to build,
hmm
not only as a business owner, but as a person,
As a person. Yep.
infrastructure is very important. I could tell you now, like I have been a pretty big Apple fan, since
hmm
2014. So like the last phone I had was a Samsung Galaxy before I transitioned to Apple. So mind you, the school I went to, the college I was at, they was Apple crazy. Like it was just Apple
Okay.
product throughout the entire school. So from 2014 to now, it's been all about Apple. But what I've been noticed, the more and more we stay up on top of this technology, is that Apple is losing this AI race.
Mhm.
They release a new phone, if not every other year, is every year,
Yeah,
um, and charge you 11, 1200 for it. And the only thing they can say got better is the camera, but I'm
yeah,
trying to see because the camera I got now is good. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
yeah,
know how much better you can get with the camera, but like now with the technology, I want Apple to show me something we ain't never seen with you know what I'm saying, technology wise. And after reading, what they're doing with Lenovo and Motorola, a bunch of stuff that they was listing was like, man, I can use this. Like
yep,
it even had me in my thoughts, like, damn, do I really want to switch products? The
mhm,
only hard part was like my workflow is stemmed from my Apple devices that allows me to do the things. I'm sure I can do it with other devices, but it's a matter of trial and error to figure it out. So one feature and example, let me see if I could pull this up real quick. See where it's at.
Well, I was just gonna speak while you're doing that, I was just gonna speak to, even if you're thinking about switching, products or devices or just operating systems overall, again,
Uh
that's what AI is here to help you do. Leverage and
yeah.
understand how you can do it with the um, least resistance. Because if there's something I don't know, I I'll take a picture of it, like, "Hey, what is this? Hey, is this
Yeah,
spam? Is this a spam? Is this a real email? Because it looked real." And it'll point out
absolutely.
certain things to me, like, again, Keisha for y'all that don't know me, I'm a ChatGPT girly. Um, but but there are other ones like Goo Google is crushing it out here. But anyway, not to get too far off topic, um, but I'll just ask, like, "What is this?" And it'll give me a breakdown of what it is, why I should be kinda leery of it. So you can use leverage AI to tell you, how do you switch? How do you if you've been an Apple person, how do you move over to Lenovo if that's something that you want to do? It's
Hmm.
not as hard as we think it is anymore. But go ahead, now that you found what you're looking
Right.
for.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Maybe I feel like maybe I was too far in my thoughts, or maybe that's just the emotional part of me that's too
Mhm.
attached to
It's
Apple.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a list of things. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Cause like, it's like, for example, if we are on a Zoom call like how we are now, let's say we have a team of individuals, something called a live interaction and pay attention feature. That's one of the
Okay.
main features of Qira. Right. So let's say we are on a Zoom call or how we are on a call right now with a team, right? But let's
Mhm.
say, for example, if one or two of our team members was unable to make this call. What's happening is that Kira just in the background, without you having to tell it to us in the background, just like, okay, QB and Tiff is on a video call right now. Let me jot down some notes and summarize exactly what's going on. And Kira is putting it in the document for you as you're speaking in real time. So once we're done, now we have notes that we didn't have to manually do that we can email to the teammates that was unable to make this call to get them up to speed. Another feature is when I'm on the road or when I'm in the car, my mind is constantly going. So I'm always looking at this article, I'm always
Mhm.
looking at that article, and Kira does a very good job apparently to like knowing your habits, right? So it knows like, okay, QB is interested in A, B, and C. Let me pull up a doc on his laptop and put together some research notes. So now when I get home and I pop open my laptop, it's a document of notes of what I was just reading in the car. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And this just took away the manual labor from me having to do it myself.
With that, and it has the ability, so you spoke to it learning your habits, right? And so you can
Yeah.
pick up where you left off too. So it's, hey, you're reading this article in the car, you open your laptop, you can also continue reading that article on your computer, right? So you're not losing that continuity of, because if you're anything like me, I well, I'm a recovering open tabber, right? I would have 50 tabs open of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like,
I
I
got 50
know
tabs
I'm not
right
gonna
now.
do. And so I often forget it's 50 tabs on my phone, 50 tabs on my computer, and I'm wondering why my internet is slow. It's like, no, because you have all these tabs open and you're not
Yeah.
reading. And so what I started doing was putting the tabs in a Notion document that just said open tabs. And it's like, here are all the tabs that I
Yeah.
was looking for if I want to reference it back. But with something like this, I will never lose that continuity. Maybe I'll have more tabs open, but at least it'll be the same amount on my computer. I can continue where I left off. Again, if you're in the car, you can come back home and be like, "Oh, okay, this is where I resume." But there was something else I wanted to say too, because um, so it talked about the other articles that I looked at, and I'm reading from my the notes here, folks.
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you something. If you so this is the gem of the day, right? We need a sound for the gem of the day.
I
If
need
you're
some.
doing
Imma get
research,
some.
well, because what I was gonna say to help me prepare, I mean, again, being transparent because that's what y'all want. Like I got the article, I saw it, and I had a couple things going on this morning. And again, I want to make sure that I'm educated enough to speak on this. So I pulled up Perplexity, right? And
Mhm.
so what I did with Perplexity is good for research. I've said it numerous times, right? You can type in what you're looking for, or you can just take a picture of something and say, hey, is this relevant? Is this accurate? Is this even real? And it's going to tell you, it's going to pull from different sources. But what I did specifically with this was saying, okay, what's the big deal about it, right? Like what's the hype? Like we're hearing this stuff all the time. What's the big deal? And so it talks about, like as you said, that there's a simple AI layer across the devices, right? But also there's three pillars that they really, really concentrated on. And so they talked about presence, always having available entry points, right? Um, Actions is the second pillar. You can do things across multiple devices, which we just talked about. And then perception, right? So it's starting to build a memory of who you are. And why is that important? Because when you get down to, so we're talking about from a business perspective, but it also said that it can check in flights. Like if you need to check in for a flight, it can do that for you, right? It can do these autonomous things as well. So this is how this fits into your personal life. So don't tune out when you hear us talking a lot about business. This can really fit into your personal life, creating emails for you, like you said, taking down, jotting down notes. If you have a lot of subscriptions, you could possibly just buy a Lenovo computer and a Motorola phone and cancel some of them subscriptions.
We like, I know, man, Tiff, it's crazy you brung up the pillars because we was gonna have to touch on those. We was definitely gonna have to touch on those. Those pillars, that should make or break your decision right there, them
Yep.
pillars. Especially when you dig in, like, when you go deeper into what those pillars consist of.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, our last conversation, we talked about the tiny AI pocket lab,
Yep. The
and we were trying
supercomputer.
to
Yep.
yeah, the supercomputer. We was trying to figure out exactly how this could fit in our workflow. But this,
Mhm.
however, being able to integrate something across all your platforms that learns your habits and pretty much eliminating the work from having to go from this window to that
Yep.
window. Let me close this
Yep.
window and pull this window back up. Sometimes you lose yourself. So we're talking about one intelligence that learns your habit, learns your personality, that's going to whatever is happening on this device is going to pull it up across all other devices, right? So no, this is a game changer. So this is something I'm actually going to think about for the rest of the day and figure out what I want to do.
What you wanna
Ours,
do.
because I know how I am as far as like, when my mind is hopping around, man, let me pull this window up. Man, let me pull
Yeah.
this one. Next thing you know, I got 80 different windows open and my laptop running hot and battery done dead. I ain't even know I was at 2%. My battery done died. And you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And having something like this is would be a game changer. I'm not gonna say for everybody. For most people though, I feel like this could be beneficial, right? Man, Tiff, if you don't mind, I wanted to give further detail into those
Yep,
pillars
no,
though.
go ahead.
So so Tiff brung up pillar number one, which was the presence, right? Always being accessible. So I'm gonna just read off what's down right here. So Kira is integrated directly into the operating system, right? It exists as a quiet constant that can proactively surface suggestions or stay silent in the background until needed. Access is natural and immediate through dedicated hardware keys. A persistent pill interface or wake words. um, then you brought up the actions, right?
Mhm.
Kira is described as an AI super agent because it can orchestrate tasks on the user's behalf. It can coordinate actions across different apps and devices, such as preparing a research document on a laptop based on articles read on a phone without the user having to manage each individual step manually. And then Tiff brung up perception. The system builds a living model of a user's digital world by indexing integrations, memories, and documents across all connected devices. This allows it to understand context. What are you looking at or working on in real time? Continuity, maintaining your progress as you shift between a phone, a tablet, or a PC, and then personal patterns as well. Learning your specific habits and tone over time. So when we talk about the personal ambient intelligence, the word ambient comes from, um, I guess, it's the fundamental shift from a command driven AI to event driven AI, and it is
Yeah.
intended to be like so. This analogy was actually fire. I'm gonna read this analogy off. So it tells us to think of it like water through pipes, right? It's
Mhm.
invisible when it's not needed, but when we need water, all we have to do is engage it.
Mm, mm. See,
Yeah, so
there go that thing. Doo, doo,
that
doo,
that
doo, doo. That was
yeah,
fire.
yeah, that's the sound effect right there. I think those pillars is when you sit there and think about it for a little bit, that should definitely make or break your decision. Now, obviously, we gotta throw Nvidia in this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Nvidia is responsible for a lot of technology and just the chips and things that they have access to
Mhm.
that allow all of these things to be possible. So by them partnering with
With them.
Nvidia, this allows them
Yeah.
to gain them access to the computing power that they needed in order to bridge these two ecosystems.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that, I mean, again, we see this playing out and we don't know what we're actually seeing, right?
Mm,
People, I want to word this very carefully. There will come a time where we won't have a choice. AI, like we are saying now, AI is here, right? It's here. First, we were like, well, we don't know how far it's going to be, how far it will reach, right? We thought it would, stay within organizations, if that, right? It was a phase thing. It's
hmm.
becoming a part of our way of life,
Yeah.
right? It's something that we can't ignore anymore. And at some point in time, it'll be a factor of, okay, we're just living with it. We've been living with it, but not to this degree. Now it's starting to be embedded with things around you, right? And
Hmm.
you will have the decision or the choice um to opt out, whatever you want to do. But the world is becoming more AI generated. And I don't think that it's a fad. I think that, again, it's shifting how we live, right? Because it used to be, last year was like, it's going to change how we do work. But now it's like, it's entering into your personal lives. And
Nice.
so you have to be cognizant of how that's showing up and what you
Hmm.
need to do in order to, again, maintain your position. So I think it's just very interesting how it's showing up in people's personal lives. And I don't think we recognize the shift that's happening even from a personal perspective.
And you want to know what's exciting about these conversations, Tiff, is that, like I said last episode, it forces you to stay on top of what's currently
Hmm.
happening. Right. If
Yeah.
I'm not sending you something, you sending me something. So excuse me, if you didn't send me that clip, I wouldn't have knew about Kira,
Yeah.
because like my resource that I go to where I find out about what's currently happening in the AI space, they didn't mention anything about Kira. But then
Mhm.
once I seen the clip that you sent, that's when I ran into the information like, okay, this was just recently. And I think it's very important for us to find a resource that's going to allow you to stay on top of what's currently trending in the technology space, simply because you're going to eventually, it ain't maybe, but eventually you're going to run into something that
Mhm.
can assist you with
Yeah.
whatever it is you got going on. I mean, when you put a little brain power behind it, you'll figure out how this can work in your workflow. So yeah, if you somebody that don't stay on top of AI or the technology that's currently trending, man, you doing yourself a disservice, man. You got to find you
Yeah.
a resource to stay on top of these things.
Yeah. And I would even say, I mean, even if you want nothing to do, because I always say, hey, set up a task on ChatGPT and have it delivered to you daily. Like I have several of them. Like,
Hmm.
hey, deliver the trending topics on these things by 6 a.m. Right. Even if you don't want to do that, set up a Google alert, right? Google alerts have been around
Yeah.
forever. And so set up an alert so you get an email that says, hey, this is what's trending. I have ChatGPT. I still have some of my Google alerts too, as well, because no
Hmm.
one solution is going to catch everything. Um, but what I do want to do is I want to be informed. And I think it's important that we set up something like you said to make sure that we're able to stay on top because things change every day. Heck, things change every
Absolutely.
hour, to be honest.
Hmm.
um Especially as more AI advancements are being made, so I think it's just important that we, again, I encourage everybody, set up some sort of alerting system so you can stay abreast of what's happening, because I attended a summit. It was a 3-day summit. I only did like a day and a half because I was just like, "Oh Lord." It was a lot of
Yeah.
people. Well, it was just so AI heavy intense.
Yeah.
Alicia Little, she's coined the queen of AI, but she had Eric Thomas, Russell Brunson,
Go.
Gary
Go.
V,
Go.
um, Myron Golden on there. And so Myron was just like, look, he had his we talk about the rich auntie, he had his rich uncle on. He was like, look, you got a choice. Cause I mean, there were like 300 people on this call, right? It's like, look, y'all
Mm.
got a choice. You can either learn about AI or you gonna get left. He was like,
It's
as
simple
simple
as
as
that.
that. Like he wasn't sugarcoating it. He's like, the bus gonna leave you. And he said it's not even a bus anymore. He was like,
Yeah.
it was like a plane or something. And so, a lot of people were in the comments like, oh man, yeah, I really gotta learn, I really gotta catch up. And it's not even it's not even the fact of catching up, it's just getting started, right? Because everybody, AI is still new, just get started. You're not behind, you're not late. Like, just get started. So, because there will come a time where, again, you will be left behind. And that's when AI has been around for a couple more years. And, it's now, we see it, like, it's there. We're living different. So, I just encourage people, like Uncle Myron said, look, start somewhere. start
Just
start
start.
with reading.
That's it. Like, I would honestly say the hardest part is starting, but once you
Yeah,
start, the moment like
yeah,
you can never go into something expecting to be fully prepared. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like the hardest part is starting, and once you start, everything just happened from there. But I wanted to piggyback off of something that you said as far as it's not too late, but eventually there will become a time that you are late, and this is my opinion, and my opinion is that if you are late, it's because people have mastered the technology
Mhm.
on how to implement it. You know what I'm saying? The same
Yeah,
time you could have at the same time we was trying to figure out how to master it, you could have been using that same time frame trying to figure out how to master it as well. But then now
Yeah.
when you finally decide to take a step forward, we have already decided on we already mastered it at that point. So now it's going to
Mhm.
take you, it'll be nearly impossible for you to catch up at that point. And and I know it was a time where Chat GPT was a trend, it was a thing, but people were using it to do
Mhm.
shit that they were doing with Google. You know what I'm saying? Asking it questions that I when I say use technology and I mean like figure out a way you can use it that's finna level you up. That's finna give you that power up you need. That's what I mean. And I'm hoping, or I'm not even gonna hope. Eventually, these conversations me and Tiff have is gonna get to the right people and keep y'all up to date. Even if it's y'all not finding this information yourselves, it's our job to give it to you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That way you can get a head start on this stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's important to to hone in on, right? It's the mastery part. And right now
Yeah.
it changes so much, right? I learned a tool like I was talking to you about Gamma, right?
Hmm.
Learned another tool. I'm like, I'm about to cancel my Gamma subscription and allocate that money over here, GenSpark with Google. Like, it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It
And
be like that. Yeah.
but I'm saying that to say is even me doing starting this 2 years ago, I'm still learning. I haven't mastered it. I know
Yeah.
more than some, and it's from a perspective, right? It's not from the tech
Hmm.
perspective. I don't know all that tech talk. I'm like, okay, no, I don't need that. But
Yeah.
from again, how I implement it, how I integrate it, how I'm using it to generate revenue, right? That's different. So
Hmm.
if you're sitting and I was just thinking about when you said, you know, you went explicitly in the pillars, it's like this these two, your computer and your phone can give you insight that you're blind to,
Oh
right,
my God.
about you
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
going to monitor your behavior and it can tell you about yourself.
Oh
Like
my
I
God.
put
Yeah.
prompts into ChatGPT that have read me for filth. And I'm a pretty dope person. And I'm just like, but
Yeah.
it knows my habits. It was just like, you think too much. Stop
Yeah.
creating. And it even cursed. It was like, don't create another damn thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, Takesha, you mad, right? But it was just like, so you imagine having, listen, you can tell a lot about a person's habits by their phone.
Absolutely.
by
Yeah.
by where they spend, what they search, what they doing, all this other stuff. So if you want insight about who you are as a person, getting something like this that monitors and learns your behavior, and then one day on a Saturday when you don't have anything else to do, hey, you could talk to it. You could talk to Qira and say, hey, you know what? You've been monitoring my behavior for the past 3 months, past 2 months. What are some great and awesome things? What are some red flags? My goal is to do this. How can I better time manage, right? It's going to know it because between your computer and your phone, it knows where you spend your time.
Yeah, it's integrated. So it's like whatever it don't see, like we mentioned, whatever is happening on your phone is gonna,
Mhm.
what I'm saying, is happening on your computer as well. I wanted to it's crazy you said that, the way that you put it. Could you imagine Kira tracking, where you spend most of your time, right? And
Mhm.
let's say it's social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And Kira was like, it's been 2 weeks and I've been monitoring your
Mm.
activity. And I
Mhm.
noticed that you spent 4 to 5 hours every single day for the past 2 weeks on social media. You probably want to stop doing that because you're wasting valuable time.
Mhm.
That shit would hit home for a lot of people
Uh,
because
It will hit
all they want
home.
to do is scroll on social media. So, like you were saying, having something that tracks your habits and where you spend most of your time, when you don't want to hear from nobody else, you ain't got no choice but to hear from
Mhm.
from an intelligence that's integrated on your devices. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
and maybe I mean, and you still can do what you wanna do, but to have something tell you like, "Look, you probably should stop doing this because you wasted so much time when you could have been creating."
Man, listen, when they tell you, "Look, you say you wanna be a millionaire, but you acting like this, you acting like an employee, or you acting."
Yeah,
I was
yeah. Man,
you
get
and
your
I'm
ass
like, "How
get
dare
off.
you?" Yeah. I'm like, "How dare you, Keisha? How dare
Right,
your actions
yeah,
don't align with being a millionaire." So when you hear it
yeah,
from and like, what are you saying? This
and
is what I'm saying.
man, this will be a game changer in a lot of different
It
ways, even for
is.
the
Yeah.
individuals, and even for the individuals that like to sleep to 10, 11 o'clock, it probably can detect
Yeah.
something as well. Like, look, I noticed the first time you touch your cell phone is or a cellular device or laptop is around, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. I'm willing to
Mhm.
take a stab at it that, this is around the time you wake up. Well, most millionaires probably wake up about 6 in the morning and get their day going.
3,
If that
3,
Yeah, or
3 or
or even
4.
3. You like, yeah, 3 in the morning. Like you probably should think about your waking up at a sooner time to get your day started. So I'm actually excited about this. Like I said, I'm a still think I'm actually use the rest of the day and read some more about it. But the
Mhm.
launch and availability is definitely set to debut in the first quarter of 2026. So it's only going to be on select Lenovo laptops and tablets. Yeah, with it say phase rollout to Motorola Razr and Edge smartphones later in the year. And then now
Okay.
they say they have a future vision where there's a Motorola project where it's like an AI wearable, like a pen concept that suggests Qira will eventually live beyond, a
There.
screen.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where that go. So yeah, Tiff, I feel like that was a very informative episode. Is there anything
Yeah.
you want to add to this?
Y'all just buckle up because you'll start to see because we always see that once one company or business makes an advancement, you start to see it in others. And I think that with this one seeming more of a smoother um, transition between devices and the AI doing all the work. So again, like I
Mhm.
said, with Microsoft, you have to go in and say, okay, Copilot, I want you to do this. It's like, what if the AI did more of the work, right? If it said, hey, would you like for me to create a document for you, or just took the initiative? So it's coming. It's not going to be limited to
Right.
just, schools and your business as an employee. It's really going to you need to look and see how you can leverage it in your personal life and where it shouldn't have access. So the same things we talk about, the guardrails and the governance for businesses, what's the governance
Mhm.
for my life, right? There's certain things that I don't want to give it access to. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
there's certain parts of my life that I'm okay with. So just being clear with that.
Yeah, yeah, I wanted to add something before we hopped off here.
Okay.
Like I had mentioned it earlier when we were talking, but definitely, think about all of the for the ones that has a mind that never rests, that never sleep. You in the bed, you can't sleep because like all these ideas just popping up. Think about all the times you have about 10 apps open. I mean, not 10 apps, but 10 windows open with different things on each window, right? So imagine having this assistant agent that you don't have to tell it anything. It just sees your habits, right? And it's been times, speaking for myself, it's been times I close the window and then have a hard time recalling what I was trying to read, right? So
Hmm.
having something that have already jotted down notes for me and have it right there in my face soon as I open up my laptop is man, that's all the assistance I need for real, man. And like all those ideas that I lost is already jotted down, simply
Yeah.
because of technology that Lenovo, Motorola, and Nvidia was able to create. So, man, this
Yeah.
this is fire. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I was glad me and Tiff was able to hop on this episode and give y'all this information and this new up and coming
Yeah.
technology. And man, as always, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take a look at the description. Give Tiff a follow. Give myself a follow. And as long as you are subscribed, you will be notified for future content. And we will do our best to keep y'all updated on AI news, new up and coming AI technology. And man, we just gonna keep this show we call Things Successfully Room going. And yeah,
Look,
without that being said,
listen, before you
uh
stop, look, we gonna stop giving y'all option to subscribe. Y'all need to subscribe because listen, we told y'all in order find some ways to be and stay informed. And so this is a way for you to stay informed. My little bro, he's asked y'all all of 2025. Now, Big Sis, Big TT, Tiff, look,
yeah,
y'all subscribe because
yeah, we
we gonna start dropping them gems on how you can integrate this. So it's no longer AI is here. So it's like there's no longer an excuse.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, eventually we are going to have sessions
Yeah.
teaching y'all how to integrate these things.
Yep.
And man, that's if that's not a resource, I don't know what is. It's teaching you.
List.
Like if you somebody that don't know where to start, man, listen, we here to provide the tools and show you how to integrate it eventually. Um, so yeah, y'all, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for I want to throw this in here before we close out. So at first we was bi-weekly, but now we've been dropping every week. So now instead of getting content every 2 weeks, you will be getting content from us every single week. Whether that's
Same.
about health, financial literacy, or artificial intelligence with sis here, Tiff. And yeah, without that being said, y'all, life is good. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the guys and goddess, forever and always, think successfully and
Bye,
sexily.